Hi, this is Mrs. Norad again, and we're continuing on with our legal issues lecture. We are going to begin with the disciplinary action slide. So, disciplinary action can occur while being licensed and within the process of obtaining a license. So just know that the State Board of Nursing does maintain rules and regulations for nursing practice. You'll find them in the state's Individual Nurse Practice Acts. Violation of these regulations result in disciplinary action as delineated by the boards. And then nurses convicted of a felony or found guilty in a malpractice action could have to go before the Board of Nursing. Disciplinary action could include, but is not limited to, suspension or revocation of a nursing license, mandatory fines, and then mandatory continuing education. And then please read your slide here. So if you're ever practicing while under the influence of drugs or alcohol, functioning outside the scope of practice, or engaging in child or elder abuse, those are also things that will have disciplinary action on your license. So with NCLEX, preparation for taking the NCLEX exam can occur, of course, in many different ways. We use Kaplan, but just know that there are other programs available. The National Council of State Boards of Nursing, which is the NCSBN, creates test plan blueprints for the NCLEX exam. It's updated every 3 years, and changes are made based on findings that are comprehensive, that reflect current practice, and show entry-level nursing competency. So the NCSBN encourages you to review the NCLEX test plans before your exam appointment, and I would actually print these off now. The test plans serve as blueprints, so they outline content that you'll be tested on, and they guide the item writing process. So, understand that this is a good guide for you to see what they plan on testing you on. It includes definitions of each client needs category, nursing activity statements, detailed content examples, sample NCLEX items, and an item writing guide. So I really encourage you to go to the website and review the test plan for the NCLEX. It's about 67 pages, but it is another excellent resource to help guide you with studying for the NCLEX exam. And then I also encourage you all to spend time on the website for the State Board of Nursing. Really, please review what they're responsible for, what they can do, who is comprised of it, and what it defines. And then, hint, hint, you might need to know what that State Board of Nursing does. Okay, so preparing for the NCLEX RN, make sure you be positive. You can pass, you can do it. I have faith in everybody here. Use relaxation techniques, deep breathing. Some people seem to test well while chewing gum. Advanced planning, so pack an NCLEX bag. Try to perform a dry run at the same time you would leave to get to the test site, to familiarize yourself with the area, parking, etc. Call the center, see if you can bring in these snacks or water, and then make sure you eat well and get a good night's sleep the night before the test. Just very basic tips. And then on the day of the test, make sure you eat before you leave. Do not go on an empty stomach. Leave early and give yourself sufficient time to arrive at your destination. You may want to bring a jacket or sweater, although I know that I wore, I think, a hooded sweatshirt when I went for mine, and I could wear it, but they made me turn my hood inside out, and they had to check my pockets. You can also take breaks during the exam, but no, the examination time will keep going while you're taking the break. And then too, I think, I don't have something to share for you like a link, but they may have made some changes based on the coronavirus, so there might be less questions provided, or I can't remember if maybe there are less testing centers too, but just know you may need to look into that before you take your exam as well. So they have changed some of the guidelines. Okay, so review questions. Excuse me. Make sure you navigate to the book publisher website, so enter your Essentials in Nursing Leadership and Management textbook resources. Click on the online review questions. Click on chapters 1 and chapter 3, and then complete the questions. There's also always some good NCLEX style review questions at the end of each chapter, and then you can find the answers to those questions at the end of your book. There are some case studies here that I really, really want you guys to look at and answer questions to. I'm not going to grade it, but I think these will help you to kind of understand the content that we just discussed here in the legal issues lecture. So case study 1 is Edna and Roberto. They come to a Center for Child Care Development to have their 3-year-old child evaluated for suspected developmental delay. While taking the prenatal and delivery history, the nurse realizes that the healthcare provider present at the delivery was recently suspended from the local hospital for practicing while impaired and will appear before the professional board within the next week. Based on the father's description of what occurred during the delivery, the nurse concludes that the healthcare provider was under the influence at the time of the delivery and that the complications that occurred during the delivery into the newborn were directly related to the healthcare provider's impaired judgment. So the nurse says to the family, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but your healthcare provider has been suspended from practicing at the hospital and will be appearing before the professional board at the end of the week. You may be able to get money for your son's future care. So questions to answer for this case study. Has the nurse violated any professional standards or practice? If yes, which standards? Has the nurse committed an act of slander or libel? Explain your answer. Would you consider the nurse to be acting as a client advocate for this family? Explain your response. Again, I'm not requiring you to finish these, but I would like you to at least look into the questions and then answer yourselves. And then if you have questions for me about your answer set, then just email me. Okay, case study 2. So read the case on page 52 of your book and answer the following. List all of the problems you can find with the nursing care in this case. What were the nursing responsibilities in reporting information? What do you think the cause or the possible cause of the drop in Mr. Evans' blood pressure was in the subsequent code? And then if you worked in risk management, how would you discuss the situation with the nurse manager and staff? All right, so conclusion here. So nurses need to understand the legal issues regarding practice. It's very important. It can affect your entire life. It affects everything. So, it's important to understand the State Board of Nursing standards of practice, hospital policies, institution policies, anything that helps to guide why and how we do what we do. So it's important to know and understand the Nurse Practice Act 2 in your state. And then, again, patients expect nurses to provide safe, competent, and quality care. And then, the legal aspect of it helps to guide us as nurses to do that and to provide safe, competent care to our patients. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can email me. Have a great day.